Departure expected from a Liverpool academy in the form of midfielder Tom Hill. The second permanent academy departure this January transfer window after Peter Luger moved back to Fluminense. Hill, now 22, is expected to move to League Two Harrogate on an 18-month contract. So on Hill, he's 22 years old. He's been at the academy since under 6 level, being local to the club from the Formby area. And at Liverpool, he had a really positive season as a first-year scholar, playing for the under-18s, under-19s in the UEFA Youth League, and for the under-23s at the time. So with that level of promotion, we can see that he's really well thought of as a player in the club. And Hill's career so far is one that comes with a massive asterisk. For those who don't know, he spent 2 years out injured from the ages of roughly 17, 18 to 20, 21. So a lot of years, important years missed out there. And before getting into what type of player he is, I think he first of all has to be commended. I'm sure that he wouldn't want to be defined by his injury and he'd rather talk about the player that he is now. But it is a massive psychological setback to overcome that amount of time out injured. Not only does he have to get back on the pitch itself, but he has to find some level of form. At the end of the day, it is a career for these lads. So there's pressure there that he's managed to overcome, and he does seem to have put his injury problems behind him. And behind him to the point where, after being drip-fed under-21 football and slowly building himself back up, he was included in some first-team endeavours. He went on the tour in Asia with Jurgen Klopp's first team. And since the significant injury that he suffered, while he's been out here and there for a couple of weeks at a time, this season, he seems to have been fully fit, fresh and raring to go, and in form. He does have an official Liverpool first-team appearance to his name as well, pre-injury. He played in the famous Carabao Cup match against Aston Villa, of which Liverpool fielded a number of under-21 players because the Club World Cup was the next day. So this is a player that's obviously mentally resilient. So in terms of what type of player he is, I did mention at the beginning of the video, he's a midfielder. However, he definitely falls into a more attacking bracket of those. I wouldn't really ever call him a winger, although going by personnel in terms of team selection, he might be forced to take up some of those positions in the past 12 months. He's definitely in the mould of attacking midfielders like Thomas Muller, Dele Alli, who will fall into those pockets of space, sometimes further out wide, and then look to attack the box. For me, and I understand I'm no expert in the field, but his best work actually comes off the ball, and I don't mean that in terms of defensive work. I mean that in terms of he's not a midfielder whose best assets are going to be carrying the ball up the pitch. It's his understanding of when to attack, where the ball's going to drop, his attacking anticipation, and he's a really good finisher as well. Although he's capable of picking the ball up and taking responsibility in possession, I think that his best shines in those areas. And he's really not afraid to pull the trigger in and around the box. It's often one touch and shoot out of his feet, sometimes first time. He's just a player that's got very good attacking instincts. He can play deeper if needed, although I don't think it's his best position. In times he's had to as one of the more senior players in the under-21 side, and he's dropping deep to take a bit of responsibility in possession and move the ball up the pitch. But he is one of efficiency. He doesn't need too many touches to achieve the goal that he set out. And he does seem to be comfortable on either side of the pitch, which gives him a bit of tactical flexibility. Now, at 22 years old, does seem on the older side to be getting his first touch of senior football, but obviously we do have the injury to factor in there. It might be a case of him being drip-fed. Although it might not, we saw Paul Glatzel move a little bit older out on to Swindon, and he managed fine after a couple of loans at Tranmere, and he had some significant injuries. But I would assume Hill might need some time to adapt.